Hi everyone, how are you? This video I'm going to explain how to start and how to plan and start a home improvement business. And I get that kind of question a lot on my apps, and it's just many people are able to provide this kind of a service, right? It's just if you're a handyman, I mean, you can provide various services related in this kind of niche. Um, so there's a lot of people who can provide the service, and that generates a lot of questions for me, and of course there's a lot of competition. So in this video, I'm gonna explain, like, most importantly, how to beat your competition. Okay, when it comes to this sort of a business, because if you find, if you think about it, in your local area, there's many people who can provide the service. So the first challenge people have when they start this business is how to raise the money. Right? They usually need some tools, and what I really try to do is figure out what jobs can be kind of the first jobs that can be done, that you can do, that it doesn't require a whole lot of tools, so that you can actually get started, and instead of trying to raise money, you can get the money that you need for bigger tools and for trucks and whatever, for bigger jobs later, so you can get that money from your own revenue, which is much better. And the sooner you can start by doing smaller jobs, the sooner you will be you will put yourself in a situation where you're learning how to promote your services. And long term to promote your services, this is going to be the trick, because I know you're going to be able to provide the service to a high degree of quality. If not, then you shouldn't start this business, right? So you must provide your home improvement services to a high degree of quality. Any business should, right? But it's really a matter of how you're going to beat your competition. So here's how you do it. And if you have watched so this business is categorized as a local service business. That means it serves locally, within a certain radius, maybe a couple of cities nearby, but you can't really travel that far, right? So what you have to, so I do have a whole video of how to promote a local service business. It's really good. It explains how to do it online, offline, various techniques, and I'm just going to really quickly run through them. And if you want a more elaborate version of this, then you try to watch that video on my channel. It's good. It's going to help you. So there's offline and offline, right? So for offline, what you really want to do is build a referral network, and that's both a referral network from past customers, whom you tell that if they refer you to someone, they'll get a discount, and that person will get a discount. And the thing to do here really is that when somebody uses a service like this, they may have a need for it in the future, and if you did a good job, it's going to be very likely that they will call you. So what you want to do is you want to give a discount at first, so that you onboard that person. You do the first job, and then as long as you provide a good service, they'll keep on bringing you back. So getting the first job is very important with them. So you feel free to give discounts to people who recommend you, for people who are recommended. If you don't have a big base of initial customers, what you can do is get referrals from you can get professional referrals. And professional referrals, they can be from people who have businesses similar to you. So if you provide a home improvement business or handyman business or something like that, maybe the same people who use other services for their homes, like a cleaning business or a roofing business or something like that, right? They may ask them, hey, do you know anyone who can do some basic home improvement stuff, right? Or handyman things or something like that. And they may recommend you, and in turn you will recommend them. So you kind of create this whole cycle of recommendation, and all you guys grow clients. And of course, to incentivize people to recommend you, you can also give a commission. And it's great because you just got a client, right? So you have money from which to give a commission from, and that just gives incentive to people to recommend you more and more and more, and you'll have more money. So that's a no-brainer almost. Sometimes door-to-door sales actually work for this business, especially if the kind of services that you can provide are like external to the home, so that you can actually see which homes may need these kind of services. Like if they have a aging paint job, or something is broken or something else, you can knock on the door and say, I can fix this. And that people actually who use my apps, they actually have reported that this way of marketing works. It's been working for people. So, and that's actually from real practice. They didn't just think like, oh, maybe this will work. They actually are trying it and doing it, and they told me that it works. So that's the offline. You also want to be very active in your local, Chamber of Commerce community and your local business community, because you can learn a lot from other business owners who are similar in similar niches, and that's actually where you might make contacts for people to recommend you, and you recommend them. So you want to be very active in your local community of small businesses. For online, to get this business online, keep in mind that people are, this is a kind of service that people need. And when they need it, they search for it. So what you want to do is you want to dominate search. And it's not simple, but it's simpler than it sounds. So certainly you want to have a website. I have a tutorial for how to create your website pretty simply but effectively. So I'll have the link to that in the description of this video on YouTube, so that doesn't have to be a problem. So once you have a website, you can begin ranking in Google. You should also list your services on things like Yelp.com, Thumbtack.com, Angie'sList.com. Those are all local service websites. They list local businesses, which you are one of those. And they're very good because many people search those sites. In addition, listings from those sites sometimes appear in Google itself. So instead of just having one listing in Google, you'll have two. Also, Google has such a thing as Google Places or Google Local. And that's a way, you should definitely make an account there, and that's a way to get, when people search for a business and a map comes up in Google search results, you can be next to that map. That will allow you to be next to that map, and it's really good to be next to that map because that map is always very high on the search results. It's always the first, second, or third thing, and I mean, it has the things on it have a very high click-through rate. So you certainly want to do that. So now you have up to 3 listings of where you can be on Google, and this can go on. There's other things you can do, but this is basically how you promote this kind of a business effectively. And also, of course, you want on all those sites you want to have good reviews and things like that, and that stems from you providing a good service, which we're assuming that you will. And that's kind of how you would grow this business. And what you want to do is become good at ranking in search online, having your website, sort of being kind of hands-on. I know it might take, if you never had a website, it might take some time, to figure it out, but you must, because once you figure that stuff out, how to rank in Google, how to rank in Yelp, you'll get a lot of clients from it. And most importantly, you'll figure out how to jump over your competitors. And if you're the number 1 site that comes up, I mean, you'll get all the business, right? And that's going to be your job, is to be that number 1 site. And on this YouTube channel, I have a bunch of tutorials for all of this. And on my mobile apps, I have also a bunch of tutorials for all of this. So there's no excuse not to. I really explain how to do all this kind of stuff. And on my mobile apps, you can actually ask me questions. So if there's something you're not sure about, or some piece of the process where you're stuck, actually you're able to ask me questions. So that's it. That's kind of what I wanted to suggest here about how to plan and start this business. Please subscribe to my channel. I give a lot of business advice here, and of course, if you're looking to start a business and you're looking to learn how to plan and promote your business, I get into detail about these things on my mobile apps, and they're available. They help the apps cover business ideas, business planning, marketing, and fundraising, and they're available on iOS, Android, Kindle, and they're available on Problemio.com. So if you just search for Problemio.com, or just search for Problemio in any of the app stores, iOS, Android, Kindle, you'll find the apps, and of course I'll have the links to everything in the description of the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.